Good morning. I'm Leon Thomas, and you're here for another edition of NRG This Week. I'll be joined by NRG CEO and President Mike Weiner. We'll be right back. You're here for NRG This Week. Here we go. Good morning again. I'm Leon Thomas. Welcome to NRG This Week. You can watch NRG This Week every Monday on these same social media networks every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern. You can watch it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and today it's even airing on YouTube. With NRG This Week, we bring on guest Mike, co-host and CEO and President of NRG, Mike Weiner. Mike, what's happening good? How you doing?
I am doing just absolutely awesome, Leon. How are you this morning?
Oh, everything is great. So, Mike, tell me, what are some good things that's happening with NRG? You had a speaker series or something that went on last week, I believe, last Friday. Tell us about that.
Maribel Rodriguez, affectionately known as Sunshine from the Houston group. She's got a nationwide staffing company and she talked about branding and she knocked it out of the park, Leon. Everybody was engaged. People walked away. I know I took 2 pages of notes and she just had some phenomenal information. That recording will be sent out to all the NRG members this week from my virtual assistant, Jolie, but it was amazing.
All right, that's great to hear. Now, how often do you have an NRG speaker series? I know one of the things that you've talked about on other episodes of the show is the fact that network referral group is more than just networking. It's a fully encompassing business support group. But tell us, how often do you do events like the speaker series and other things? How often does that happen, Mike?
That's a great question, Leon. We usually do it once a month, but this month we're actually doing a second one. You had Amberly Shreve on earlier as a guest. She's going to be doing one in 9 days on the 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. But generally, we just do once a month, and people walk away with a lot of valuable information. And, I'm all about being a one stop shop: information, education, inspiration, motivation. So, we'd love to see you there on the next one. That'll be Wednesday night, the 27th, Amberly Shreve. And she was actually one of our past guests on the show, Leon.
So that's Wednesday the 27th, Wednesday at 27th at what time?
Actually, I think it's Tuesday, the 26th at 7 p.m.
All
Tuesday,
right.
the 26th at 7 p.m.
Tuesday the
So that's in
26th at 7
7 p.m.
p.m.
Eastern.
All right.
Yes.
And if folks want to get
Yes.
more information about it, they can go to nrg.online. Is info there?
Absolutely. Go to the website,
Uh,
nrg.online.
all right, great. Now, Mike, today we have a guest with us. Let's bring our guest on. We have Mr. Thomas Cave. Thomas is with us. Tom, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Leon.
Uh,
Good.
So good. Glad to have you with us. Now, Thomas, tell us about your business. Tell us what you do.
So I'm part of a health sharing group called Impact Health Sharing. And what we do is we simply bring down the cost for people's health care every single month over traditional health insurance. We are a nonprofit. So at the end of last year, for instance, we gave back 30% of the premiums at the end of the year in November and December. We can't keep the profit, therefore, we give it back to our members. And we are a community as opposed to an insurance company. We share the healthcare bills of all the members as opposed to traditional health insurance. So it really brings down the cost for people.
Okay, so now give me a really, really watered down example. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year old. How does this work?
Sure. So traditional health insurance typically keeps the money as long as possible before providing the payments for the providers, the healthcare providers, the doctors, et cetera. So they keep that money so that they can make interest on it. In our case, we actually pay the bill on an average in 18 days. So we have a little bit of negotiating power with the actual provider themselves. For instance, let's say it costs $300 to go see your healthcare provider, your doctor, whatever have you. We can actually negotiate that cost down because we pay it so quickly, and we pass those savings on to the members.
So me as a member that needs health insurance, so I contact you and I say, I don't have health insurance. Take me through the process that I go through. How does that work?
Well, it's a very simple process. There's two parts to it. The first part is you calling me and saying, "Hey, I need some healthcare coverage," and I go, "Great, let's get you a quote." Okay, that quote actually takes less than 3 minutes. I go online with you. I walk you through the process. It's 2 questions, and the number pops up for you. It's as simple as that. After that, people get they fill out the very short form at the bottom. It again takes less than 2 minutes. You provide that information, and what happens is an onboarding specialist actually calls you back in a specified amount of time, and you actually schedule that time for the onboarding specialist, and then they walk you through all the questions that they need, all the personal health information, and they walk you through that process. They onboard you, and from that point, you're covered the next month.
Okay, and so then I go to the doctor's office, and the first question they ask at doctor's offices, even before they say, "What's wrong with you?" they say, "What insurance do you have?" So what do I tell them?
So all you tell them is we have impact health sharing. I actually suggest that people call in advance and just give them the information, because this is a newer system to a lot of doctors' offices and a lot of providers. So I just suggest that people call in, give them the information in advance so they can get online with our coverage. And from that point, we just pay the bill. It's as simple as that. Because we're not a health insurance company, because we are health sharing, as soon as the bill comes across our desk, we try to pay it as soon as possible. So that's where the savings comes in for the members.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, Mike, you've known Thomas for quite some time. You were telling me before the show you guys have known each other. Mike, go ahead and talk to me and Thomas and our viewers about what you know about Thomas, and tell us what you expect from him as an NRG member. I know you were talking about you've had a relationship with him before, so go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, you know what, Leon? I've known Tom right about 23 years. I've been doing NRG 23 and a half. And when he came back with the health share, this is his third time in NRG, third, different company. He's definitely a servant attitude. I noticed when he jumped on the New York City group, within minutes, he's referring other people to the members. So he's got that mindset. He's a phenomenal NRG member. We've become very good friends. And he's always looking for the other person. His health share, yes, that's what he does, and that's where he makes a living. But he always puts everybody else first. I've noticed that with him. He always gives first without expectation, and that's a big part of law of attraction. And yeah, I greatly appreciate that about him. We've developed, like I said, a great business relationship, and even further than that, a friendship. And we've known each other almost 2.5 decades now.
2.5 decades. So that's like maybe longer than you and I have known each other, Mike.
You know what? It's just about there. I think we met around the same time, Leon. So, both phenomenal relationships. And, you and I have created an amazing friendship and business relationship. And I've done the same with Tom. So, yeah, it's pretty cool what life gives you.
Yeah. Now, Thomas, tell us about some NRG success stories. You've worked with Mike before. You've been a member. Tell us about some of the successes, and then after that, I'll back out and let you and Mike go ahead and talk.
Sure. So, I've owned several different businesses throughout my life, and several of them I've actually brought into NRG. The main thing I can say about Mike is he's made connections with everybody you can possibly imagine. Every time I mention to someone in business about NRG, they go, "Oh yeah, that guy Mike Weiner. I've talked to him," or "I'm a member of NRG," or I have some sort of relationship with Mike Weiner. And the reason that is Mike just is a nonstop machine. He reaches out to try to contact as many people as possible, and in doing so, he makes a lot of forges a lot of relationships in that space. It's amazing. I'll talk to somebody at random about NRG, about our mutual businesses and what we can do for each other. And immediately their response is, "Oh yeah, I know that guy, Mike. I've talked to him a couple times, or I'm a member, or I used to be a member, or I'm a member now, or whatever the case may be." But the reality of it is, Mike has literally reached out to every business owner in some form or fashion over the last 20 some years. He's touched the lives of so many people that people remember him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Thomas, before we move on, before I back out, there are going to be some folks that are watching the show now that want to get in touch with you to learn more about your business. How do they get in touch with you, Thomas?
Well, I make it as simple as possible. It's just my phone number. I'd appreciate it if people would give me a call. I'd be honored to give them a quote or answer any questions they have. And I don't pretend to know everything. If I don't know the answer to the question, I'll get right back to them with an answer. I'll reach out to people who do. My number here is 443-226-0684. Again, the number is 443-226-0684. And my name's Tom.
All right,
I'll be happy
great.
to talk to you.
Great. Thank you, Tom. I'm going to back out. Mike, you and Thomas, go ahead and talk for a bit. Talk about NRG and not the Baltimore Orioles, though. Do not bring up the Orioles.
Excited to have you here with me today. You and I go way back, probably about as long as Leon and I. You've got a new business, you're blowing it up, you're growing it, you're serving, you're helping a lot of people. But the thing I notice about you so much when you jump on the meeting, I can actually sit back a little bit because you jump in there and you help people. What is your mindset? I think this is really important, and the members that are watching, the members that will be coming in the NRG, what is your mindset when you jump on an NRG call? What's your goals there as far as the other members?
So my goal is a little bit different than some, I guess. A lot of people look to NRG or any networking that they can do as grabbing a referral as quickly as possible, getting a phone number, a name. I look at it as building a relationship with somebody. I've said this before, and I'll say it 1,000 times. Networking your business is building a relationship. You have to have some common ground with the person you're talking to. Too many people want to take, and they're not giving anything back to the person they're taking from. You have to have a two-way street. You have to have a give and take. You have to build some sort of camaraderie, some sort of relationship with the person, and you have to find some common ground. You talk to people about what they're about, not just their business. It's easy to get a phone number and a name from somebody, but honestly, if you don't have that rapport with somebody, you don't have anything to build that relationship on, and you're never going to get a real warm referral unless you have some sort of common ground with the people. Talk to them a little bit, have a conversation. Too many people want to get on the phone and just go, "Hey, what do you have for me?" But you have to build that rapport with somebody. You have to talk to them. The first thing I can talk to anybody about in NRG is don't go in there looking for referrals day one and say, "Hey, how many people can you send my way?" Get a phone number, do a one-on-one conversation with the people, have that one-on-one rapport with the person, and build off of the relationship that you build with that person. People don't refer business to somebody that they don't like. You've got to have some sort of common ground. Mike Weiner is accused of talking about the Orioles too much or talking about the Ravens too much. But the reality of it is you build a relationship with people based on that sports background. And those are the people that are warmest to you. And those are the people that are going to give you the best referrals. Those are the people that are going to do the most for your business. They don't want to do business with you if they don't like you. So have a conversation with the people. Talk to them about their family. Talk to them about what they like to do. I was grilling all weekend. Talk to somebody about grilling out for the weekend. Don't go right into the business side, because then they think you're just trying to take from them. But build that true, honest rapport with somebody, and get to know them a little bit better. The more you know somebody and the more they know about your business, the more they know you can help their clients, the more referrals they're going to give to you. And you're going to be swamped with referrals to the point where you're going to have to say, hey, man, I got to take a step back for a minute. I just have too many calls to return.
That's a great problem to have. And Tom, I love your answer. When you came back the second time a couple of years ago, I know you served and served and served, and it really it manifested well for you, to use a law of attraction term. You wound up soaring like to the top of your company. I remember that whole experience. You were jumping a lot of, you were visiting a lot of meetings. Now that we're Zoom, it's just absolutely amazing because you can jump on, be anywhere in the country. The other question I have for you, and this will be the last one before we bring Leon back, without mentioning other company names and networking group names, a lot of folks have had not spectacular experiences in networking. They've been to a group, they've been to an organization, they've been there a year or two, really have not had the referrals, not developed the relationships. My biggest challenge running NRG is I talked to someone and they had a negative experience. From you've run groups for me. You and I've developed a friendship. You've been in leadership roles with me. What would you say to the guy or gal who's watching this now, who's not had a good experience? And again, we're not going to mention specific names, but what would you recommend to them about NRG? What is it about the NRG culture that continually brings Tom Cave back? And you see the caliber of people coming in. I've never been more excited about NRG, but what would you say about the culture of NRG to the folks that have had a bad experience or two elsewhere?
Well, I got to tell you, it kind of goes back to building that rapport and building that relationship with people. In a lot of networking instances, it's almost like a part-time job that people just don't have the time for. You've got to bring in a list, or you get kicked out. You got to bring in so many referrals, or they don't like you and they kind of shun you from the community. This is a true networking community. People contact you constantly. I do. I'm texting you, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Just to make an introduction to somebody, just to, talk to somebody new. This is truly a community of networkers. We network because we want to, not because we're forced to bring in so many leads each week, not because we have to in order to keep our status in the networking organization. We do it because this is truly a community and we want to help each other out. When you want to help somebody, you're going to give them a stack of business cards. When you're forced to, you're going to bring in the minimum because you're forced to. That's really, I think, the big difference is Mike Weiner actually cares about the person that's part of his community in the NRG world. We've built a community of people who want to help, who really want to refer business to you. There's a few people that I can say really stand out in NRG where they really get it. They get the camaraderie, they get the relationship portion of it. And I refer those people every single time I'm on a phone call. Every time I'm on a Zoom with you, I refer those people because we've built a rapport, we've built a relationship, we've built a friendship. And because of that, I refer those people out on a continual basis. The people who come in and just sit there mute the whole time, and you can tell they're doing their taxes while they're on a Zoom call. Those are not people that I'm going to refer a lot of business to or refer other people to you. The ones who I actually take the time to have a one-on-one, the ones that take time to have a one-on-one with me and actually build a rapport, those are the people that are going to stand out in my head. And I'm going to make sure that every time I'm on a Zoom call, I throw their name and phone number in the mix. There's a couple people, and I know Mike, that I refer almost every single call to people. It's because I've built a rapport with the people. It's because they stand out in my head as being somebody who genuinely cares, who genuinely wants to help other people out, and who genuinely wants to refer business back and forth. The ones who don't, you never hear their name out of my mouth. The ones who do, they're on every single Zoom call with me because I'm referring them to somebody or referring somebody to them for their business.
I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you very much. So,
Sure.
what I love about you, Tom, you're hard hitting, you're impactful, and you speak the truth, and that's some of the characteristics about you that I appreciate. So, back to you in the studio, Leon.
Thank you, Mike. Good interview, good conversation with Thomas. Thomas, I want to comment on something that you mentioned. You said that networking isn't about making a phone call or sending a text and saying, "What can you do for me?" It's about building a relationship. And I can't tell you the number of times I've received phone calls and folks say, "Hey, I hear you used to work in the hotel business. Who can you let me talk to? Who can you introduce me to?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, and you are who?" You talked about that importance of
Exactly.
relationship, right? Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
you're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Mike does it. You don't refer folks to those that you don't know, right? And that you don't have a good relationship with. So it was great to hear you say how important that is. We have about 1 minute left. I want to make sure that all of our viewers have contact information for you, Mike, and for you, Thomas. Thomas, let's start with you. If someone wants to get in touch with you to learn more about you and your business, how do they do it?
They can simply call me at 443-226-0684. My name is Tom. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me about health sharing, the health sharing community, and how we can help you. Please give me a call when you get a chance. Love to talk to you.
All right, great. Thank you. And Mike, someone wants information about Network Referral Group or you learning about groups and everything that you do. What's the term you used? You called it a one-stop shop. If they want to learn more about you, how do they get in touch with you?
For more information, just reach out to me by either cell or text 443-756-9656, 443-756-9656. And we are a one-stop shop, networking, motivation, inspiration, extravaganzas. The NRG experience will be Wednesday night again. Come check us out. And Tom and I both look forward to meeting you, and Tom's a great extension of NRG and everything that we represent. So appreciate you, Leon, for having us both, and look forward to talking with you out there in the audience.
All right, great. Thomas Cave and Mike Weiner, thanks for being here. I'm Leon Thomas. The name of my company is the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about us, go to theleonthomasgroup.com. I'd like to thank our production team, Kelly Johnson and Jeremiah Nixon, for your outstanding work to make this happen. Thanks for watching another episode of NRG This Week. We'll see you next Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching NRG This Week. Here we go.